Welcome to the Astro Weekly Forecast for the week of March 25th through to the 31st. It's the end of the first quarter of the year. When did this happen? We're already moving into April. This is wild, right? So this week is a big week in the astrology, y'all. So we start off the week on a Monday, March 25th, and we're starting off with a bang with a full moon lunar eclipse in Libra. Right. So the moon is in Libra, which is now about relationships, right? Libra is a sign of the zodiac that is the scale. So the relationship between you and me, right? So who am I when I'm in relationships and who am I when I'm not in a relationship? And can I balance those two things? Can I still be true to myself when I'm with you and not people please and dim parts of myself to be in relationships? That is the theme of this full moon eclipse. Now, eclipses in astrology is when the nodes of the moon are near the moon itself. So not near enough to be in aspect, but still in the same sign, because we as a collective go through these 18-month cycles where we are moving through different signs and pairings of the zodiac to help us release what is no longer serving us and help us to embrace what is coming in. So we go through these cycles that are 18-month cycles. And so we're currently in the cycle of Aries, Libra. Aries is about, again, my way through the world, my spark, my leadership, my goals and aspirations, my passion and purpose, right? And during this full moon, the sun has moved into Aries. The moon will then be in Libra, and we have this opposition in the zodiac. So the North Node is in Aries, North Node being our karmic destiny, where we are moving to, and that's kind of near the sun. But we more so look where the moon is. And the moon is with this full moon is a South Node eclipse. So what this means is it's a releasing. It is what have we learned from the past? What are we letting go of? What have we learned the lesson of? And now it's time to move on. And in Libra is all about balance and harmony. Libra is ruled by Venus, and Venus rules money, beauty, aesthetics, values, relationships, right? What is our values? What is no longer aligned with your values? What relationships are no longer aligned with your values? How are you spending your money that is no longer aligned with your values? Because there's an aspect here that is going to really cut away anything that's not aligning anymore, and that is Saturn. Saturn is the killjoy of the zodiac, but no, I say that in jest because it's about responsibility. Saturn is about duty, structure, responsibility, mastery of self, being true to who you came here to be, but it's also scarcity. It is also fear. It's also constriction. It is where we feel like things aren't really kind of able to expand. So when Saturn is sitting next to another planet, it is almost like it's harnessing it. It's kind of not jailing it, but it's keeping it under wraps. And where is it sitting next to in this beautiful full moon? Next to Venus. So Venus is relationships, right? Beauty, aesthetics, money, and Saturn is going, are you being true to yourself, and are you being responsible in your relationships? And they're in Pisces, so the sign of healing. It's a sign of transcendence. It's a time of like understanding, compassion. But Saturn isn't compassionate. Saturn is like, get out of here, right? We're done. It's going to take your safety blanket and throw it in the river. So it is not a time to be mean. I mean, we're going to be mean to ourselves. This is not a time to be mean to yourself. You're going to be coming through, especially you've probably been feeling it already because eclipses start a month in advance and can go as far as 6 months into the future. So this energy is an energetic evolution, right? It's a jump in the evolutionary timeline, if you will, whenever we have an eclipse. So you're going to see your relationships being the word is cleansed or released or seen for what they are, right? And we have this murkiness. The sun is sitting with Neptune, so there can be some deception around this time. There can be some uncertainty. We are already in Mercury retrograde, so everything that we're going through, we're going to go through again at the beginning of April. So this is not a time to make big decisions with money. It's not a time to buy big purchase, make big purchases, change your investment portfolios, make big changes to your aesthetic, like If you want to get bangs, if you're wanting to get a major haircut, if you haven't been thinking about it for a long time, now is not the time. Right. Also getting tattoos. Now is not the time, especially at a full moon eclipse. It's the tattoo's not going to take as well. So it's actually not a great time to do it. And with Neptune diffusing the energy of the sun, it can be a very depleting time. We might feel very tired, very stressed. Neptune also amplifies our emotions and sensitivity. So at every full moon, we will always be a little bit more emotional because our divine feminine and our divine masculine are sitting opposite each other and pulling on each other like a tug of war. So it is a time now to ground. It is a time now to take stock of an inventory of your relationships. What are the relationships in your life that are feeding you, and what relationships in your life are depleting you? Who do you spend time with that you feel like you can push your car home? And who are the relationships that you're just like, you see the ringer and you don't want to pick up the phone? Right? That is what is going to clear out from your life. And that is what's needed, because what's coming ahead, you can't be dragging all this dead weight with you. Right. And it's not to say that these people are dead weight. It's that they're just no longer aligned, right? You guys came together in a time in your life where you were great friends, and there was support there, and there was mission and connection, and you two had things in common, and you no longer do. Right. And that can be, it's hard when it's a husband or a significant other. It's hard when it's a lifelong friendship. And it's hard when it's somebody you're related to, but it's going to come up for you to see it in a new way. And when we release it and say, you know what, thank you. Thank you for everything you brought into my life. Thank you for all the gifts and talents you brought in. And I release you now for us to either come back together in another way in the future, or maybe be done at this point in time. But thank you. Right? Can we say goodbye with love, and either keep it open if it's meant to come back around again, or close it off in a way that feels aligned, grateful, and also safe, right? And safe. So full moon in Libra highlights balance between self and others, encouraging harmony in relationships. The sun in Aries opposite the moon in Libra creates a dynamic tension, urging you to find balance or equilibrium. The moon's trine to Pluto in Aquarius adds depth and transformation energy to interpersonal dynamics. So this transformation, again, Pluto is evolution, right? It's a wrecking ball. It's coming in and changing things up. So that trine is a very helpful and beautiful aspect, that it's like it's helping you to move things out. This is a great time to clear out your house, to do spring cleaning. Like now we're at the beginning stages of Aries season. Great time to spring clean and get rid of stuff that's no longer aligned with your values. Embrace the opportunity to bring balance to relationships, explore deeper layers of connection, and beware of potential power dynamics when seeking mutual understanding. So because it's such a sensitive time, probably not the best time to have deep conversations about triggering subjects. It's more so healing here first is going to be the key. And again, this is a South Node eclipse, so we're clearing out things that are no longer aligned, learning from the past, right? What have you learned from your relationships in the past? What are you no longer available for in your life in terms of relationships? And then also not forgetting, because some of you, I've just gotten a nudge from spirit, are going to have to also form a new relationship with money and values. Values are an important part of Venus and Libra, right? What are your values now? And what relationships are really aligning with those values? Maybe your values are love and non-judgment and compassion and family. For me, family is like my top value. So everything, when family comes calling, I need to sort of put everything else down to the side a little bit, right? And then everything gets to readjust when family isn't the top priority anymore. Everybody's fine, nobody needs anything, and we get to kind of come back into more equilibrium. And now I can put more things that are she-tell oriented on the chart, on the top of my list. So that is the nature of being in relationships. And if you're a mother, I see you, that is very much the way things go. So be careful of power dynamics, and also being prone to maybe overspending or overgiving at this time with that Neptune there. It can be a time of maybe a little bit of deception. So just not really committing any major resources, and definitely not spending or investing any big amounts of money at this point in time, moving your investment anyway. Tuesday, March 26th, we have a very short aspect, but it's in the day of sort of the moon opposite Mercury. So we're still in, that eclipse energy. We can have this head versus heart piece that might be coming through on Monday. So Tuesday, just give yourself some space and grace. Wednesday, March 27th is an intense day in the zodiac. We just have a number of aspects to the moon that day that's just intense. So this week is going to be a little emotional, and just giving yourself groundedness, right? Introspection, meditation is going to be good to come back into your own energy. Boundaries are going to be really, really important during this week as well. Thursday, we have Venus sextile to Uranus. This is a gorgeous energy for new and inventive and creative and exciting people and relationships and experiences to come in for you. So with this harmonious aspect, infusing relationships, creative endeavors, and excitement, and a little bit of spontaneity. So this alignment encourages you to embrace unique and unconventional expressions of love and beauty, seize the opportunity to explore new social experiences, break free from routine. So you're not going to if you have an agenda today, you might feel like you want to just go and have brunch or go for an early coffee with somebody and just enjoy connection and relationships. This can also bring in some new and exciting relationships and experiences coming in. Uranus is very kind of erratic, but also independent and fun. And, not adventure seeking, but more so outside of the norm. Right. So you might meet some new people. Like as you clear out old relationships, what I notice is the new ones coming in are so fun, so aligned. Are you giving space for new relationships to come into your life? So being careful though for impulsive decision making and impulsive spending, right? We are in that Mercury retrograde. Mercury's almost retrograde. April 1st goes retrograde, and it's not a time again for big expenditures, big changes to your portfolio, investment portfolio, or to anything aesthetic wise, Venus related. So that's kind of the last major aspect. A huge intuitive day on Friday, March 29th. Lots of intuition available to you. Well, intuition's available to you at any time, but the energy on Friday is more intuitive day. And wherever we have a more intuitive day, we also have a more emotional day. So because your soul speaks you through emotion. So the more you're connected to your emotions, the better, the more you're going to notice downloads or notice information about things. And then I just like to look at the zodiac for days that are kind of important. So Sunday, March 31st, which is Easter. So happy Easter to those who celebrate. We have some relationships being challenged, and we are kind of coming in hot. The moon is in Sagittarius. We just want to have adventure. There's no filter there. There can be a lot of emotions that come up, and there's some challenges, some squares to Venus on that day, square to Neptune on that day. So I'm just going to say, go into Easter. If you're having Easter dinner or family, go in grounded, go in supported, and go in with your wits about you, have boundaries, and have an intention when you go to dinner and what you want to get out of it and when you want to leave. So really just having that intention to maybe even have a joyful time or enjoy the time with family. And that might be lovely too. There could be other dynamics at play that come up that might make it a little more intense. Okay, so just being aware of that. And of course, there's lots of intuition and lots of excitement that can come up on Sunday, March 31st as well, with that Sagittarius energy. Great for manifestation, but some of the squares are a little bit challenging to the way you're spending your money, the way your relationships, which is that theme for the whole week because of that beautiful lunar eclipse in Libra. So wishing you groundedness, wishing you intention, and wishing you awareness about what is trying to leave your life, because the universe is trying to help you birth something new into your life. This is Aries season. We're in a time now of change and renewal and growth, and there's no more time for holding on to weeds in your garden. We need to, pull out those weeds so we can plant some beautiful flowers. And weeds can be flowers too. They're not ostracized flowers. But what I'm saying is, there's some things that are ready to go, and we need to plant some new seeds. And we can't plant seeds when the garden is full. We need to sort of make room for new things to grow. So wishing you a wonderful week ahead, and I will see you next week for April. Have a good one.